Watching the Niners-Ravens game like everybody else, and he says down 21 and there are no shots or development throws. Should tell you all you need to know. Is Micah, is this okay to do?
It's really weird that he's tweeting that out there. First, there's a saying out there: losers focus on winners and winners focus on winning. And if you want to be a winner, you just got to focus on winning. It's really, really weird because in this case, though, Micah Parsons is one of the best defensive players in the league. He might win Defensive Player of the Year this year. But on top of it, it's a team game. It doesn't matter how good you are as an individual. It matters about a team. And it's weird that he's tweeting that after a loss versus Miami in Miami, and then he's tweeting that about a team that absolutely dismantled the Cowboys when they played them this year. So it's just weird to me because he's an outstanding player and he's doing his thing this year, but you're worried about the San Francisco 49ers and you're tweeting about them. I really don't know what else to say besides it's a weird situation. I really don't know how to break it down from there.
So let me guess. This is going to be one of them situations where because Rob Gronkowski is a however many times Super Bowl champion and one of the greatest tight ends of all time, undoubtedly, Rob Gronkowski was a dog on that football field. This is going to be one of those times that y'all just say that, oh, he's right because he's a Super Bowl champion, so he can say whatever it is that he wants to say, right? Nah, bro, I'm not going for that, man. Look, I'm going to go a couple of different places here and I need y'all to take this ride with me. I really hope Micah Parsons sees this video because I have been alluding to this over my past few videos in which we've talked about some of the criticisms and some of the things that Micah Parsons has said that are all valid, they're all true, but it's all going to give him unwanted attention. Now, just recently, we saw some of the media go after Micah Parsons because he made the statement that people are waiting for the Dallas Cowboys to lose, or they're hoping for the Dallas Cowboys to lose, or something to that effect. And people really ran with that, man. People, Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. Smith, a bunch of people over-dramatized exactly what it was that Micah Parsons was saying and completely twisted it to kind of fit their own convoluted narratives. But I knew the more Micah Parsons spoke the truth, just with anything else in life, when you speak too much truth, you always find some trouble. If you tell your wife she looked too thick in that damn dress she got on, guess what? Your ass gonna find the couch that night. And Micah Parsons, you on the couch right now. You already alluded to it in your Instagram post when you said, whatever you did to the refs, I'm sorry. Free me. Indeed. Micah Parsons is under attack right now by the National Football League and its media members, and it's coming from all different directions. And this is why, especially when you have that star on the side of your helmet, we see this with some of the players, man. And yes, y'all have every right to be able to do and enjoy the same amenities as every other citizen in this country. Yes, that is very true. I do not want to ever make it seem like I'm telling players not to do something that an average person can do, because I think that's just poppycock. That's a crazy way of thinking. But you guys do have to move differently because the scrutiny is different, especially when you have that star on your helmet. And when you make yourself a target, trust me, everyone is going to line up to take shots. The referees have been taking shots. They have missed call after call after call after call on Micah Parsons, to the point where you can put together whole collages, whole script books of all the missed calls on Micah Parsons. Someone put together a bunch of screenshots from the Miami Dolphins game, a bunch of calls that could have been called in favor of Micah Parsons, and it's ridiculous how flagrant a lot of these are. And the referees have tried to explain this away by saying they don't think that Micah Parsons is in position to actually be able to make a play, which is why they don't throw the holding flag, or why they don't call the penalties on the offensive players that are mugging this man and bear hugging him and essentially taking him just short of home plate. They taking this man all the way to third base with what they doing to him coming off that line without them throwing a penalty flag, bro. But the referees ain't calling it because they're explaining it to people like Jerry and other folks who have inquired about this. And I got into it with someone on X because they thought it was a big brain, and man had a nice little suit on and everything in his Abbey and was still foolish. Because he like, oh, why don't they file a formal complaint? They do that already. They already send the email to the NFL and be like, hey, man, y'all missed these calls. Hey, man, this was sketchy. What do y'all have to say about this? And they have already stated that the NFL will get back to them and be like, oh, you right, we did miss that call. Our bad. And then nothing else happens, bro. Nothing else happens. So that's why I said, and that's why I had to quote what Law said, Law Nation. Shout out to the homie Law Nation, bro. Show love all the time. Law Nation is one of the OGs, one of the pillars of the Cowboys content creator communities. And it's going to take us, bro. It's going to take media. It's going to take public perception to really start to make the NFL, I guess, take the leash off this dude, bro. To really take a look at what's going on in these games that are being officiated, where the dude generating the most pressures in the league right now in week 16 of the NFL season has not been held in 2 months? You're trying to tell me the guy that is generating the most QB pressures, meaning he's beating his man off the line and getting to the quarterback and causing the quarterback to hurry up his progression, hurry up his throw more than anybody else in the league. You telling me nobody's holding him at all? He's doing it and nobody's holding him. So be sure y'all subscribe, because I promise y'all this week we're going to dive into that on a whole different level and really open y'all eyes to some of the things that are going on as far as how unfairly Micah Parsons is being officiated compared to some of his counterparts, including some of the players, some of the best players in the league, right? It's ridiculous the microscope this man has put himself under, in a sense, because for one, he's a Dallas Cowboy, and two, he's trying to speak the truth. So it's not a negative reason he's put himself under the microscope, but he's speaking the truth. It would be different. He's coming out and he's saying this crazy stuff that everybody's like, oh my God, what is this guy talking about? We can all see and relate to the things that he's saying, bro. It's probably the same stuff that he's seen when he was watching them as a fan. When he was watching them in college or watching them in high school, watching Cowboys in high school, it's probably the same stuff he was seeing then. And he's like, holy crap. Like, this is a real thing. The refs really aren't throwing any penalties. They're looking at us getting face masks and getting held and illegal contact. They're looking at it, and they're not throwing the flags. And now you got the pundits, the big media pundits on TV. They sitting there trying to call you soft, trying to call you crybaby. And now you got Rob Gronkowski, a Super Bowl champion. What can you say to him? How do you counter it? How do you come back and save face in that situation? You got Rob Gronkowski now calling you out, saying that you have no reason to be talking about anything that's happened. I guess because you lost to a team, Rob Gronkowski. Because you lost to a team, I guess that means you can't watch football anymore, huh? That means you can't comment on anything that's going on with the football game, huh? You can't just be an actual student and fan of the game and just comment on what you're seeing on the game, huh? You can't do that no more. Oh, and by the way, Rob Gronkowski, that 49ers and Baltimore Ravens game was literally the only game on television at that time. Of course, he was paying attention to that game. Of course, he might have had some thoughts or some commentary on that game. Of course, he might have put those thoughts and commentary of what he thought on the game, which the stuff that he said wasn't all that flagrant. But of course, he was going to put that on a platform where that's what you do. You just put random thoughts and commentary on said platform. And again, it wasn't even that flagrant. So what's so weird about it? Everyone was watching that game. Everyone saw Brock Purdy throw 4 interceptions. Everyone saw it. The 49ers waved the white flag, bro. Everyone saw it. Why can't he not comment about that? That was a jarring thing to see. If it was happening to Dak Prescott, everyone would have been commenting about it during the game as well. Hell, we saw multiple people, former players, LaShawn McCoy and all these other people. There that man is. There he is. Dak threw 1 interception against the Bills. And we saw everyone come out the woodworks to have commentary on that. But when Micah said something super vague about a 4 interception performance, it's weird. Everybody else do it to him on the biggest, on the most magnified level and yet you can possibly get in the NFL on the Dallas Cowboys. Everybody else does it to him, but he can't just comment something harmless, nothing that's a direct shot. It's really up to interpretation of how you want to take what he was saying. Because he could have been saying it like, hey, shit, the 49ers gave up. They said, look, we tap out. He could have been saying that. It didn't have to be a direct shot at Brock Purdy or nothing else like that. He could have just been like, damn, they camped this one in. They said, forget it. Or he could have been alluding to any. There's a variety of different places that comment could have went. And to his point, yeah, Micah, you do need to be freed. They're after you. The media is on you, bro. The media is on you. You're speaking too much truth. This is why it's in your best interest to just go and completely wreck shop on the football field. Take all that frustration, all those injustices, all the stuff that you know that you're telling the truth about, the stuff that you know, you see, you know that stuff is wrong, but you see what happens when you try to speak up against it. The refs are against you, the NFL is against you, getting penalties thrown on you that are ticky-tack BS penalties that are affecting the game in major ways. You're not getting penalty flags thrown for you. And now you're getting Hall of Famers and some of the biggest media members going after you and trying to label you as soft and to create all these other different narratives about what you're saying when all you're really doing is speaking the truth. And to be honest, you're being the exact opposite of soft for anyone that wants to try to go there with it. Oh, he's being the exact opposite of soft because you think this man not smart enough to know the kind of criticism and the kind of spotlight that's going to get on him when he does speak on these things. So actually, he's being courageous. But the media, just like they have always done as it pertains to the Cowboys, and one of the main reasons why I've made this channel is they're going to twist their own narrative and make the public feel how they want them to feel about these players. And I'm just here to say that Micah Parsons, you have not done nothing wrong, but you are still seeing the consequences of your actions. You understand? Sometimes you don't have to do anything wrong and still receive consequences. And this is one of those situations. You're doing nothing but speaking the objective truth. We all see that you haven't been getting penalty flags thrown for you. We all see how weirdly officiated Cowboys games always are. We all see that. And I'm not making any excuse for it. I'm the last person that you'll see that will try to blame officiating for the reason the Cowboys specifically lost. There's always more reasons than just officiating. I always say try to blow out your opponent so you can't leave the game in officials' hands. But it gets so blatant to the point where it's like, you kind of have to see it, right? So, Micah, you're correct. Rob Gronkowski, what is this man supposed to? He can't be a fan of the game anymore. He can't be a fan of the game and he can't just watch the game. He can't comment on the game. You're bulletproof, bro. You're one of the best tight ends of all time. But it's like these former players are worse than the media members from when y'all played, in the sense of y'all want these current players to shut up so much and just let the crazy stuff that y'all say fly. And if y'all say anything back to them, then y'all got some crazy stuff to say back to them. And that's the difference. At least the media members back in the day, they couldn't really get into a situation where they're going back and forth with the players. The former players that are now the media members, they're so hard on the newer guys and just so, I don't know, bitter and salty and hateful to the point to where they're just willing to say anything, to say off the wall stuff and challenge these players in ways that they were not challenged as players by the current media members of their generations. None of these guys are challenged the way some of these dudes are being challenged. A lot of the quarterbacks from the early 2000s didn't have to deal with quarterbacks from the 90s and 80s talking trash about them. A lot of the quarterbacks from the 2010s didn't have to deal with dudes from the 2000s. You didn't see Don McNabb and Michael Vick and these dudes coming out and trashing the young dudes because they can't get a job in the NFL anymore. You didn't see that, bro. But we see that with the Cam Newtons, with the Rob Gronkowskis, with these different media members now, the media members. Some of the new media members, which is sad because I thought y'all were supposed to be doing things differently. But I guess y'all different is just adding even more testosterone and aggressiveness into the delivery that was already there. And that's the new media now, right? Either way, man, Micah Parsons, bro, let us speak for you, bro. Like Law brought up originally. Law I'm so glad that he finally brought up what's been going on with the penalties with Micah Parsons. Now, the rest of us need to make sure that we're very loud. Just like Booby Taylor said, the Cowboys have a very loud and visible fan base. We can be very loud and visible about what's going on with the lack of holding calls for Micah Parsons. Make that your topic, First Take. Make that your topic, Undisputed. Make that your topic, media, because I promise it'll get clicks. Just saying. Either way, y'all know I was in these videos, man. I will see y'all at the Dak Attack headquarters next time. Take it away, Pastor. I don't have nothing to slam, so I can't slam. How about the Cowboys? I'll see y'all next time.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still the ball? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Hey! I'm still them boys.